Hello, collective. Welcome to the space. There is a need to turn down the sensory stimulation. Okay, so whether you're watching a lot of content online or TV, whether you're listening to lots of different things, or the music's just too loud, whether the lights are too bright, or there's just a lot of things happening in your environment, there's a need to reduce that, to help you regulate, to help your nervous system regulate and adjust. As you can tell, the light here is dimmed down dramatically because it was just a lot. There was just so many things going on. So yeah, there's definitely a need to say, being aware of how your environment is. I'm hearing the word upregulating. So upregulation, you get downregulation, which is the calming, the breathing, the grounding. Even upregulation is a more activated state, which is not a good or bad thing. Upregulation is necessary for just shifting the energy, or doing a dance, or jumping on a trampoline, or that sort of thing, just to get you into present moment. So any somatic practice will help get you into the present. Essentially, that's what it is. It brings you back to present now moment. So whether you need to calm down or whether you need to shift, whatever that's feeling like for you, but in this space right now anyway, there's a need to down regulate. So bringing down all the sensory stimulation, doing deep breaths, resting, that's come through big time, resting the body. And there's also a need to say that there's some subtle frequencies that are in the midst, and if the body or if the mind is not calm and regulated, I'm hearing / seeing that analogy of catching the thought by the tail and running with it. I'm not sure if that makes sense to you, but being with the thoughts in the now as opposed to getting caught running with it. An example would be if you're thinking, oh, what should I make for dinner? But it's like morning time, and then you're just stewing on what to make for dinner, to the point where that's like a loop playing in your mind, or you start doing all the things. How does this want to be expressed? Yeah, you just start doing all these things that are not necessarily abiding in present moment, abiding in the now, and that can cause a lot of agitation. Hearing the word suffering, and this is like mental suffering. Sometimes it can manifest as physical, as in anxiety, anxiousness, overwhelm, frustration, rah-de-da. So intentionally, I'm going to slow down in this video because, as I said, I tried to record this multiple times. I don't even know if I said it in this video. And it literally, the energy was erratic. So I even wrote it down in the previous notes. So let's take some deep breaths and arrive together and calm the fuck down. So obviously you can take deep breaths however you like, or if you want, you can do a deep inhalation through the nose, pausing for 4, deep inhalation for 4, pause for 4, release for 4, pause for 4, so forth. They call it box breathing. So we can do a couple of those in your own time. Excuse me. Bless me. The hay fever was a moment when I did the Aries video. So there might be some Arians here that this might be relating to. That's quite interesting, actually. I'm not going to speak to the notes unless the attention is being drawn there, but yeah, I'm just mentioning that might relate to Aries. I'm going to make a note of that and share the video here somewhere. And what was that about? It was about speaking up and standing in your power, pretty much. That is about clearing the throat, speaking up. There was something else. Okay, what do we want to use? Let's just see what's going on. There was something else that wanted to be said, but I'll just leave it there. And if it comes back up, awesome. If not, then it wasn't meant for this collective. I'm hearing a song. I'm not going to speak to it because it could just be an earworm. So it's literally listening to that song before. So I will speak to the practice that I did with that song, because when I was in meditation, the attention was being drawn to the Sacral Chakra, which is to do with creativity, passion, sensuality, the other S word that YouTube might flag me for. And yeah, I had not done a somatic dance practice in yonks, so I felt the need to do that. And there's been a song that I've been digging for a minute. I might mention that song later. We'll see. It's a pretty dirty song. So, and I don't know why Scorpio just popped into my head. It is Scorpio season, just so by the way, but Scorpio popped into my head. Anyway, we'll see. Okay, that song is making the rounds, so right, give us 3 cards. Okay, for F's sake, the song is called Pum Pum Jump. No judging, okay? I'm actually obsessed with it. It's got such a awesome beat. Like, it's such a dope song. And then having Tatiana Taylor, Jill Scott, and Tyler on there as vocals. I mean, seriously, you have to listen to it. Dirty or not, you have to listen to it. Oh, interesting. Oh dear. Okay. Let's see what's at the bottom. Okay, what is going on with the fire signs at the moment? Specifically, and actually Scorpio too, but specifically Aries and Leo have been making a freaking appearance. So we've got Leo at the bottom of the deck. We've got retrograde reveal. We've got messages cross-pollinate and Gemini, which is same but different. And then we've got South Node past. So there for sure, okay, 333 might be significant. I've got 515. what was being said before. This past energy, whatever this is, there's something to do with nostalgia or the past or something coming back around, a revisiting of sorts. I will read the notes in conjunction with that. So the first words that came out was double back, like, you know, you're double backing. And what I got from that was a return of sorts, whether that's a person, whether that's a thing. You know how when we're always looking for shit, you never fucking find it until we're not looking, and then everything happens to show up. So there's something about that, or a mindset, a belief system that's coming back around to be reviewed. Okay. I'm not sure where Mercury is at the moment. Should have really had my iPad, so make sure to check that, where Mercury is at the moment. If it's in retrograde, if it's going forward. I find that fascinating that the Gemini card is here with that. I wonder if I can quickly check. Let me just pause it for a moment and check. Okay, so that didn't work. I thought I could pause it and then... Anyway, so no, it's not in retrograde. It won't be going into retrograde until the 11th. Oh, sorry, the 9th of November. So 11/9 or 9/11. So something is being reviewed, and I will get some more information on that. There is something in the current energy that you're contemplating, that's being reviewed, that's being analyzed. Let's just get some more information on that. What do we want? Tell me about this review. I've got 7 of Cups, 4 of Swords in reverse, and the Moon. For sure, some reflection. It's literally here, this period of review. Perhaps there's some options, and there's a bit of uncertainty around which options to take. Or I'm not even getting the action. I'm not even getting this vibe of taking action. There's just a reflection, deep contemplation about maybe offers, opportunities, or maybe there's just a lot of things that are being contemplated right now. In general, life in general, all facets of life. That's a very 4 of Swords in reverse. I was saying before, I don't know actually if I mentioned it in this video, so it's interesting how the light's gone back up again. It was so weird. What was I saying before? This energy of needing to really retreat, if that's feeling good for you. This energy of needing to really rest the mind and the body, reducing this sensory stimulation. Yeah, there's this energy of burnout. So making sure, or even just reviewing what those things are, what those hold on, cutting of cords. Interesting that I said the Aries, because that's just being brought to attention. I said the Aries video, there might be Aries energy in this collective. The literal title, or not title, but the thumbnail words were cutting of cords. So there may be some reviewing of what needs to be cut to reduce this overstimulation. A need to spend time recovering. So if that's not being done, there is a need to chill the fuck out. Yeah, there's definitely a need to, the word recalibrate is being brought to awareness, and that was in a video as well. So look, these energies are quite fluid. Things are gonna maybe even clearing your space, just seeing a speck of dust, clearing out your space, because that can be a form of cord cutting as well, like decluttering, getting rid of stuff that may be nostalgic in nature as well, that may be, you know, things that you're holding on to that you really don't need anymore, whether it's letters from your ex. I'm just speaking to that because of the retrograde and the past, the South Node card here. Yeah, clearing of space. I feel like what was spoken about before, about, I don't even know if I was spoken about. Yeah, there's something to do with the tenses, as in like past tense, present tense, which is a bit interesting. But what was spoken about was, oh my God, and it's gone. Did I speak about uncertainty? Anyway, that might come back again. Thank you. Okay, so this is about regulating the body, or regulating yourself, or getting enough rest here to allow the body to come into a space where there's enough calmness and clarity to allow those subtle frequencies to come through. The moon has got to do with intuition and hidden truths and illusions. So if we are not bringing our awareness to present moment, which can be distracted by all of these things going on in our lives, we will not be able to, or it'll be very difficult to tune into those subtle frequencies. Because the challenge here is, and this is literally in the challenge here position, what the fuck is going on with my words? Okay, I'll take a deep breath. There's a need to regulate, my friends. I'm so serious, because with the Seven of Cups energy here, these cards are representative of needing to be mindful of burning yourself out, whether that's physically, mentally, emotionally. In the knot, we have two cards that are synonymous with communication and messages, and possibly even receiving some type of insight from these subtle frequencies. So whether this is actual communication in your day-to-day, this might even be about two forms here, because we've got two forms on both of these cards. We've got two B's and two Serpents. Let's get a card on that. So yeah, I'm hearing or picking up the sense of subtle communication, like communication through the subtle frequencies, the subtle bodies, in order for us to, it's like, I'm getting this analogy of tuning into a radio station, right? So if we're tuning a radio station, we'll get all this, you know, frequency adjustments, we'll get this noise, we'll get a full-blown radio station, we'll get a really soft one, and it's like tuning into the right frequency to be able to pick up the one that is required, if that makes sense. So pick up the information that is needed. And for some, this may be to do with connecting with another form, or connecting with something on a very energetic level. Like there might not be actual communication, but there's communication through the subtler realms. This could also be to do with networking. So reviewing your connections. If this is to do with, you know, like a one-to-one kind of connection, reviewing your one-to-one connections, or reviewing how it is that you communicate with your spouse, your partner, a family member, friend, colleague, whatever. Tell me about... I want to pull another one. Yeah, I've got 9 of Swords in reverse, so... getting out of your own head. Really getting out of your own head. Queen of Swords. Stepping into this... This is a frequency of knowing how to... so I'm just being distracted a bit. How to wield communication, how to actually communicate with clarity. 9 of Swords and the Queen of Swords. For the not communication. With the 9 of Swords. Okay, hold on 2 seconds. I'm just feeling this whoosh of energy through the third eye, but it's feeling not forceful, or blinding in a way. I might just turn down that. Oh, why is it? Oh, that's weird. I can't even turn the thing down. I'm not sure what that was about. Yeah, so ensuring that this is to do with overthinking, paranoia, being in our heads. But then the Queen of Swords speaks to clear communication, certainty, knowing Interesting. Knowing what? Just gonna sit with this energy, this it's not a pressure, it's literally like a whoosh of energy into the, yeah, as I said before, it's almost blinding in a way. Maybe ensure, how does this want to be expressed? Because there's a few different ways that this can go. There's man, what is this weird freaking uncertain energy here? Like not knowing what the fuzz? Oh, yeah, it's like I can't actually communicate. Like it's so bizarre. So you might be feeling that way, like there's either like, oh my god, there's something to do with confuddled effing communication, right? This is a card of a thought leader, someone who I can't even articulate it to you. So what is this about? It's almost, I want to say almost this self-sabotaging, and I spoke about this in the Aries video, the self-sabotaging energy, like wanting to speak out, wanting to speak with clarity and conviction, but there is some wishy-washy feelings confusing you. Does this make sense? Well, this is the challenge, right? There's wanting to speak out with knowledge and wisdom, which is Queen of Swords energy. It's just like almost not happening. And so there's a need to rest and recalibrate. I don't know, I keep being drawn to this Leo card, and that is showing up. This is a subtle, because it's underneath, it's what's not seen. There's this energy of wanting to step up and shine and be your boldest self, or actually just showing up as yourself, but there's this uncertainty about how to communicate. Do check out the Leo and Aries videos. I'll make a note of that. Okay, when I asked who this was for, you're gonna laugh, but Brainiac came out in the first attempt of this, and then Genius came out in the second attempt. So, and perhaps someone who works in an environmental industry or something to that effect. But someone that's, you know, a collective that is quite intellectual. I mean, we've literally got the Queen of Swords showing up here. And maybe this is what is, jeez. Okay, maybe this is what is going on, is usually there's clarity and there's knowing and there's certainty, but whatever is going on here is shifting. Like I'm almost wondering also if this is a, I don't want to say, I'll say previous version because that's what I'm hearing. I don't usually subscribe to this idea of versions of us. It's just phases or depths of knowing where we're at with our consciousness, with our self-awareness. So I'm getting this cramp in the right side of my neck. I'm wondering if this is speaking to let's say a previous version of you where there wasn't this clarity that you have now, or there wasn't this, I'm hearing like in tune communication or attuned communication. Because when I reflected on what the message was, it literally said unclear. And during the meditation, there was nothing, as in there was nothing. And usually that means peace for me, as in peace of mind, being present, feeling conscious, feeling into the energy of consciousness, presence. But there was nothing. And there was also this physical nervousness in the sacral chakra. So why? So yeah, the message was unclear. I did write inner peace, inner sanctity, no sound, like internal sound. Distanced, or distracted when spoken to. Yeah, that's kind of what it felt like, even though I'm not speaking to someone necessarily, trying to articulate and verbalize what I'm trying to say. And I said that before. I said I'm getting distracted. So not hearing really, off somewhere else. Unclear, in the void, not knowing, no certainty, opportunity to rest, recalibrate, nothing happening on the surface, feeling tired, lethargic, fatigued, and I did mention that before, but this doesn't necessarily mean fatigued physically. It could be fatigued mentally, as in some people would say if I can't think of the words, oh, I'm tired, or I need a coffee, I need to rest, that kind of thing. So there's no clarity when the mind or the body, the ego, is quote unquote tired. And there's also a question, is this even my energy? Or is it an energy vampire? And then I heard ears ringing. And then the weirdest word came through, dingus. And the first thing that came to mind with that word was, what is the character's name? She's in Stranger Things. I think it was season 3 of Stranger Things. I want to say Maya, but I think that's her real name. Anyway, she uses the word dingus. She calls everyone dingus. So that reminded me of this. It's either in reference to Stranger Things, or the character, or the characters around her. I mean, in the film, there's so much going on all the time, right? And nostalgia. And this, like, we've got past cards here. So And then, see, so, okay. So I wrote these notes down. I said I wasn't going to talk about it unless it came through. And it is definitely making sense now. Because when I looked at it, I'm like, this is not making any sense. So, yeah, breathing. Lots of breathing. Restlessness. Regulating anxious-like feeling. Shaking off the energy. Shifts the energy or rest. Sacral chakra. There was also a pain on top of my left hand, which is the feminine aspect. So I might read up on what that could mean. But yeah, the sacral chakra is about creativity, sensuality. The other S word that YouTube might flag me for. Pleasure. What is this? Oh, water, orange. I just wrote some things down in regards to the sacral chakra. What was going to be spoken to? Oh, the shaking off of energy. So during meditation, the sacral chakra came out. After meditation, when I wrote these notes, there was a sense to do a somatic practice, and I don't actually know if I've mentioned it already in this video, so forgive me if I have. I have not done a somatic dance practice in yonks, and I felt to do that today. So that's a way of shifting the energy, particularly in the lower chakras, like solar plexus, sacral chakra, root chakra. So it helps with movement. And for women in particular, we carry a lot of our stress, our emotions in our hips. So that might be, if you're watching this, whether you're male or female, doesn't matter, a practice that you can do to shift some of this energy, particularly if it's feeling the way that I felt that energy before, where it's like this nervousness. And you know, when you have those butterflies in your tummy kind of feeling, it might not always feel good. It might it doesn't always feel good, you know, it feels uncomfortable. So that might be a way for you to shift the energy, or a somatic practice called shaking. So you could probably Google that, but it's literally just shaking out different parts of your body, obviously safely, being safe, not like ripping the shit out of your neck, especially if you've got neck cramps. I'm just getting also to perhaps look at your pillows, making sure, if you're not getting proper sleep, looking at your pillows, resting, making sure you're getting enough sleep. I'm hearing chiropractor, so maybe some of you may need to see a chiropractor if the ache or the pain persists. But yeah, just shaking different areas of the body shifts the energy. Essentially what somatic practice does, and I don't know if I've already mentioned this, so please forgive me, is bring you to present moment. That's it. All of these practices, all of these modalities, all of these tools, the end game is freaking present moment awareness. Okay, gotten way off track. Okay. Tell us about the there's a lot of cards coming out, people. So yeah, a lot of chatty energy. So we've got Judgment in the reverse, Page of Swords, and the Magician. And that's underneath the South Node Pass card. So in the position that it's in, this is insights. What I usually call it, the unraveling. So it's like insights, information that is coming through to us now, that's available to us now. Getting this annoying irritation in my left eye, so that might be significant. So when the Judgment card is in the reverse, this is speaking to self-doubt, the inner judgment, the inner critic coming out, possibly hiding behind a mask, so to speak. And the stomach is making... it's interesting, actually. I'm going to mention it in this card. There are Polaroids, and there is old school phone in this picture, which is really feeling like, what is the go with this? Yeah, distractions. The Magician is an energy of being able to alchemize things, right? Alchemize. I'm hearing the word wizard. Creating something out of nothing. Creating something out of nothing. There's some energy coming through. I'm just going to give it a moment. I'm hearing ringing in the ears. I am wondering if there is communication coming in, maybe from the past, maybe from someone that you've not spoken to in a long time. What is this eye thing? Seeing. Maybe seeing an old friend who is of a feminine energy or female. In moments like these, when there's no clarity, there is a need to pause and hold space for that, because we always think that we need to know things. I don't know why this is being said, but let's roll with it. There's always a need to want to know things and have the answers, but knowledge is essentially, it's all ego based. What is true and what is real, it is what comes through from presence. Okay. So even this Page of Swords, and there's that dust again. So Page of Swords could be a messenger. It could be a wanting to know more things. Yeah, it's feeling like there's this need to know things, to have information, so to speak. Maybe this is what all these messenger cards are about. And then, you know, the Magician can speak to creativity or creating something. Or ideas. Okay. There may be some ideas that like creative ideas or even other ideas of that nature. maybe projects even, that may be kind of resurfacing. And that may be where this confusion is like, do I pursue that? I don't know. Really questioning, doubting. This is insight. So how does this want to be said? Paying attention to, being aware of whatever ideas are coming through, whatever communication, information that you're receiving. It doesn't matter if it's coming from a person or if it's coming from, let's just say, downloads, thoughts, those sorts of things. There's something about creativity. So I will put those two practices in the description box, because I do feel that if there is a okay, the word stuck energy is kind of, it's like there's resistance in saying that because it sounds so like it's coming across as in a certain way, and the ego is judging it. So being very aware of what is coming through to you, or what is being presented to you in the form of like information, messages, communication, that immediately the ego wants to judge, just be with it and not creating any kind of stories about it, breaking free from any stories where we're holding ourselves, binding ourselves. Whatever this is, I'm not sure why it was let go of before, or why it didn't work out for whatever reason. But there's something about just allowing it to, just giving it some space, like allowing, how does this want to be said? Allowing it to run its course. And it's interesting how I just did that with my hand, allowing it to run its course, because that's in the Magician card, the infinity, and that's about flow. So just allowing this flow of creative consciousness, creative energy, these ideas, whatever they are, they might be coming from either, the past. Maybe you've had these thoughts before. Now they're coming up, and it's for your highest good. It's in the aspect of insight and what you need to know that's available to you right now. So this is available to you right now, these ideas. Let's get some charms. And maybe that's even to do with how you show up, right? How you present yourself to the world, however you show up in a creative sense. So if that's got to do with, fashion, or interesting. Take this how you will, but showing up as your sensual self, if that's resonating. So, and really exploring what that might look like. And I'm not saying go and join OnlyFans, not at all. Sensuality is a very sacred thing. It's every person on this planet is innately sensual. I don't know if I've got that video. I will post. Okay, I'm gonna make a note of a podcast episode I did a while back on what sensuality is. Sensuality, because obviously it's coming up in this read, it's coming out hard, let me tell you. Okay, excuse the freaking pun, but sensuality, in essence, what it is our senses making sense of our environment, making sense of our reality, if that makes sense. So it's not, it's really, yes, it can be connected and linked to the other S word I'm not allowed to say, but everyone, even children, are innately sensual, and please don't misrepresent what I'm saying here. What I'm saying is that anyone that has senses is sensual. Sensuality has been completely taken out of context. What sensuality is at the core has been taken out of context. In essence, it's just the body's way of I'm still in this energy, so the words are not even coming out properly. The way I want to communicate clearly and concisely is not coming out. So take from it what you will. But it's a way for us to process our environment, process data from our environment, like what we see, what we hear, what we taste, what we touch, that sort of thing. So it is interesting that the Leo card is coming out. Leo is a fire sign as well. So passionate, creative. There is strength that comes with a Leo energy as well. I've got my hands over the messages, all over the challenge cards, and there's a pulsating there. So yeah, exploring creativity or exploring sensuality in whichever way that looks for you. Sensuality could, when we're creative, guess what, we're sensual because we're using our senses, right? So yeah, really exploring what that means for you and how you can maybe interpret that in the outer world or inner. It doesn't have to be out, right? Because everything at the end of the day is always going within. So even exploring breath, like the slowness of breath, the quality of slow breath. I really hope this is making sense. I did say I was going to pull some charms. Yeah. The number 15 might be relevant. 515 or 415. Just make it. Yep, we've got another message. Messengers. Bird. A bird. Okay, let's get a charm for each of them. Okay, we've got a little kitty cat on a moon. So I don't know if that makes sense to you. And I mean, did I speak about cats in this video? I don't think so. Cats came out before. Okay, there is something to do with cats. Thank you. Okay, I thought I was going a bit mad, but we've got the cat here, big cat, and we've got the cat here, right? So there's something about cat-like or feline-like energy where they're pretty boss in nature, right? They'll just, I know, they're supposed to be home creatures, like they're pets, right? We're meant to close off our yards and all of that, but cats usually just roam around, do their own thing. They might go and piss on someone's lawn or, you know, shit on someone else's and then come back like it ain't no thing and curl up in a ball and just chill the fuck out. Like they're so boss in energy and they're very intuitive. So the fact that it's come out here again And there's a moon. Also, cats are very intuitive. So, perhaps even what's being reviewed here is these, let's call them downloads or insights or clarity or information that has presented itself before, but there wasn't this like attunement to the subtler frequencies. So you may have missed it, or not necessarily taken action on it, whatever that looks like. And now it's coming back again. It's like, oh wait, I thought we dealt with that. Like I let that go, and now it's come back up again. I don't know. Let me know in the comments if this is making a lick of sense to you. Now we've got a star with a little pixie fairy thing on it. So what is with these forms on forms, right? But forms on the cosmos. Like mythical or archetypes. Oh, tell me what is coming through your mind from that. Or there's something, yeah, I'm not sure how to phrase that. That might come through later, and I'll post that in the I'm getting that energy again of fogginess, uncertainty. Got a couple that came through for the insight. So I've got a leaf, and I did say something about environmental. I'm hearing the word elemental. We've got a little sausage dog or dachshund, and a butterfly. Okay. What else wants to? I will show you what I was humming at in a minute. We've got at the bottom of the deck the Devil card. It's Capricorn energy. So, this is speaking to temptation, but also okay. Now, maybe I should hide this card, but at the top, there is that moon, crescent moon, just like that, hiding away. And then on his neck, I said the neck. On his neck is a pentagram or star. And there we are. Maybe this person or whoever it is, if you're dealing with a person has a tattoo on the neck. There's something about moon and star. And there's just this thought of which read was that? That was either the Leo or the collective read, where I was talking about Nephelite or Nephilim, which is a stone, and it spoke about stars and Venus. But this can speak to addictions as well. What is this connection? Why am I seeing these? I'm gonna leave that there because it's not really making any sense to me. So just be mindful, moon and star. There's something about moon and star, neck tattoos, temptation, addiction. I'm wondering if this is the distraction. Because on the card there is cigarette smoke. I would say that's an alcohol. I'm showing this card again. Hopefully I don't get flagged by YouTube. But this is being in bondage to something. So really being aware of even our mental bondage, what we're mentally addicted to, whether that be, that could actually be narratives, like our stories, the stories we tell ourselves, because it's coming on the underneath. What stories are you telling yourself about how you show up in the world? What narratives are there just looping, because it seems to be some kind of addictive energy, as in you're addicted to the story. Like you could find yourself possibly repeating the same things to people when you meet them or we talk to them in conversation. Like, trying to think of an example. Maybe even being mindful of saying to people, I'm so confused right now. I don't know what options to take. I've got so many options, but I don't know. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like verbalizing or even mentally projecting those narratives around, I don't know, I'm so confused. Like, I feel like at the start, was it on this video? Where, no, I don't think it was, well, who knows, talking about there was a visualization of grabbing the thought by the tail. That is an example of grabbing the thought by the tail. So believing in something or thinking something enough to become a belief, then, or a narrative, and just running with it. So another example could be telling someone or saying it out loud or saying it in your head, oh, I'm so tired. Oh, I'm just so exhausted. I've got so much fatigue. Oh, I need rest. Do you know what I mean? So literally putting that energy out there, that frequency of I'm continuously tired. And I say that those kinds of thoughts can be addictive because what I'm getting is it's a way to relate to other people, especially if they're feeling the same way. So be very mindful of how you're communicating with people. Like, what narratives are you, I'm hearing pushing, so I'll say it. What narratives are you pushing? Your own mental narratives in order to connect with people. Perhaps you're reviewing that, like, man, I keep what is that word? Pursuing, the word's not coming out, but you get what I'm saying. There's this continuous narrative. I keep, where is that going? Or even confused, like mums would say, oh, it's baby brain. Yes, that is a thing, but let's stop making it a narrative. Let's stop continuously, let's stop continuously pushing these narratives about ourselves, not just as women, as society in general, that forgetting or not being able to recall information is a bad thing, or that we're forgetful, or that we're dumb, or that we're not smart enough, or whatever the hell your narrative is. Okay? If there are no thoughts in the mind, that is a fucking blessing. Let me tell you. If there are no thoughts, it is an absolute blessing, and there's a need to hold space for that. Because what comes through when you hold space, that is insight. That is intuition. That is grace. That is God, Jesus, consciousness, presence, however you phrase that. When we're operating from mind, from the thoughts, from the narratives and the beliefs, that is all ego, it's all mind. So yeah, there is a need to be aware of what narratives are replaying. And I'm hearing that song. Na 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 na, every day. Replay, stuck on replay, stuck on replay. I want to say it's Sean Kingston. It's called Replay. It might be Sean Kingston or Sean something. Go on, stop on replay. I'm not hearing the lyrics, I'm just hearing the tune. Yeah, so there's a replaying energy, replaying narrative that is currently under review. And that's good. That's great, actually. We've got... What is going on? We've got time. And there's a star. Or is that the sun? I think that's the sun. Sun and moon. But it looks like a star. And then we've got the death card. Yeah, so there's this like looping energy. I might see what that card says. I want to see if it's a star or a sun, because that'll be pretty freaking trippy if it is a star. Knowledge. And I did speak about that, about this needing to know things. Excuse me. And that's, yeah, what's up with that cough? Yeah, that's something that doesn't want to be said apparently, but I'm gonna say it, just giving it a moment to come through clearly. And I've dropped a freaking card. Oh, my hat. Let me use my toes to get this card. Hold up. Oh dear. Yeah. Yeah. This idea or this belief that we need to know shit all the time, or obviously depending on what we're doing. If you're a doctor, obviously you need to know practical things. That sort of energy, but we as humans are obsessed with information, like literally obsessed. So there's a need to be aware of this, because in some ways it can be limiting, you know, it can be quite limiting to know things. And there's also this, there could be this narrative about, yeah, needing to know a whole bunch of shit, like going to study multiple, and I can speak to experience, right? I can definitely speak to experience of just wanting to know everything and wanting to know things. Yeah, I don't know quite how to say this even. Oh, and I didn't need to. See what I'm saying? Like, these, like, wanting to say things in a certain way that makes sense to people, but it's not for me to do, because it literally comes out in the now moment. So what this is speaking to is trusting. See what's happening here? Trusting God, source, consciousness, for the insight. Surrendering this need to know shit all the time. Everything will happen the way it's going to happen. I don't know why that was said, but yeah. Let's get one more before we close up. The other song that was playing in the mind, I will tell you about it. I don't actually know if I already did. It's called Pum Pum Jump by Tiana Taylor, Jill Scott, and Tyler. I think I did bring it up, but I'm just mentioning it now. The last card is Courage. Courage. The Cowardly Lion. I'm not saying you're cowardly. I'm just saying that this is what I think of when I think of courage. Is showing up in your authentic self, in your authentic nature. And what that is presence. Whether that makes sense to you or not, that's okay. But needing to know a whole bunch of information, especially if it's completely irrelevant, right? And even if it's like from, oh my gosh, from a perspective of a gossiping nature, see, like the words don't even want to come out now. Yeah, even be discerning with that, like gossip. If that's how you communicate with people, perhaps that needs to be reviewed, because that is unhealthy. I'm just going to say it. Gossiping as a way of bonding, whether it's trauma bonding or just bonding or feeling like you belong, is unhealthy. There's something coming through about how does that, just give me a moment before we close, because I feel like this does need to be said. I'm just going to give it space. Something about how do you communicate when people aren't around. Like, how do you communicate within your friend groups, within your work groups, when certain people within that network, within that environment, Gemini card, aren't around? Are you gossiping about them? Are you talking about them in a way that's negative? Yeah, for some reason, I whether that makes sense to you, my friends, I don't know. But if you're if this is coming out, it's feeling to me like, if this is the energy, I'm just going to speak to it because it's presented itself. If this is the energy where people are gossiping or talking shit about other people, particularly when they're not around, be the freaking cowardly lion and speak up. Say something. Especially if that's not how you want to manifest connections. If that's not how you, or the type of connections you want to manifest or call in, it starts with speaking up again. Aries, the Aries check-in, energy check-in. You need to speak up about it. You need to say it, guys. That's cool if you guys want to do it, but I'm not going to be a part of it. Okay, so something in relation to that is being reviewed. Something to do with connections, relationships, communication is being reviewed. Right, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for being here and chilling with me and putting up with this. I told you the 2 songs. Yep, Replay and Pum Pum Jump, for those that want to know what this sensual energy is. Do with it what you will. But anyway, if this resonated in any way, do subscribe so you get the notifications of when the videos come up. It does help the channel. Take deep breaths, my friend, and yeah, that's it. Okay, bye.